Hello, everyone. Welcome. Simulation Talk 254. We're on the right number, by the way. I think we are, right? I think it tracks. We're supposed to be on. Yeah, we're on the right track. Dope. Dope. How are everybody doing? Inky, Chris, Ebony. Good to see you guys. Power off, Daft. Woo! Big show up today. That's wonderful. By the way, as I promised, I'm gonna bring my friend Wendy to talk about some interesting things. It'll be tomorrow because we had some issues doing it earlier today. Tomorrow it's gonna be at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It's a little early, which means for Western time it's gonna be 2 p.m., which is a weird time for this live to come on. But that's what we're gonna be doing. So joining tomorrow. All right. Cosmo is barking at someone. Hey, babe. Cosmo. Hold on. Cosmo. Cosmo, that's right. It's amazing. Cosmo thought I was an intruder because he never seen things from the outside to the inside. That's wonderful. That's hilarious. What's up, Mark? Good to have you. That is hilarious. Where's this remote? Over there? Can... That's great. It's a good guard dog. How are you, Guru? Good to see you. That is hilarious. How are everybody doing also on TikTok? What do we want to do? If you want to follow us on Twitch, it's LaserX83. Let's see. Good. Yeah, last time we had 8 people. Nice. Okay, we are keeping pace with what needs to be done. Let's see if we can. I don't know. Today's supposed to be the tiebreaker of some sort. I don't know. I think so. Let's see if it's. Oh, additional VIP badge. I don't know what this means. Oh, I think now I can give rolls for the first time ever. So 10, 5 people chatting at the same time. 10 people chatting. Okay, let's see. Manage roles. Oh, we already have moderators. Never mind. Okay. Wonderful. So I think at the end of this today, something's supposed to be there. Yeah. Not sure. I thought. Oh, okay. This is the thing that was affiliate is the thing. Okay. So it was supposed to be That's way beyond, and we're still somehow at 2. I don't know what this means. Okay. Twitch will remain a mystery to me, and always, probably always will be. How are everybody doing tonight? Today, me and Ebony had a fun conversation. We don't have to get into the details of it, but it was about AI and the potential of sentience of AI, and maybe we can touch on this a little bit. And of course, Ebony can share whatever she feels that she wants to share. Captain Diaper and Freeman. That's a great name. Do I have an X account? Yeah, it's Goller Danny. On X, I'm just Goller Danny Mark. What's up, Emily? Good to see you. Doing good. So again, if you want to help us and follow on Twitch, it'll be LaserX83. Let's go there and give the channel some love. Let's start. Just found your page. Do you think the Sumerians are real? I mean, the Sumerians were people. They're not postulated people. They were part of history. Oh, is there something going on that claims otherwise? I'm glad to see you here, Emily. Van Dweller's in the house. And oh yeah, and of course, if you want to check out our channel, it'll be website would be codeofreality.com. Codeofreality.com. You can check out progress and merch. Just wonderful mugs and shirts. These really, really cool shirts that I absolutely love. If I wear them every day, it would be weird, but I really like them. With the logo here and boom. So come check it out. Oh, probably meant Nephilim, maybe. A link to my ex. Sure, I mean, I can give it to you. Why? I mean, just go. If you search at Goller Danny, that's the link. It's not a hidden profile. Should just be there. How do you share your profile? I don't even know. There's no way to share a profile? There you go. When do I discuss topics from live topics channel? You mean on Discord? Those are usually, is that what you mean? Those are usually on the members' lives. But we can, if you have a topic that you want to bring up, by all means, please bring it up. And we can raise it here. Live topics, there you go. Those are usually reserved for the members' lives once a week. So anybody who wants to join the membership program, we do those every Sunday. Yesterday we were breaking down the entire video, one of the videos about Itzhak Bentov's work. That was very interesting. Also wild ideas. But we do that. We do philosophy. We do mathematics. We do science. We do all kinds of things. Fun things. Thank you so much for the gift, Jay. Angel poop. Yeah, you meant Nephilim probably. Anunnaki? No, I actually don't. I don't think that's real. I know it sounds weird considering the space that I'm playing in, but I don't think that's real. You got it, Mark. Always nice to see you, my friend. Thought it should be chatting. Absolutely, Emily. I'm always open to your invitations. Always having a good talk. Thank you so much, Ebony, for sharing. Oh, well, you should have told us this, Ryosi. So, I mean, the memberships, they're like $3, something like that, right? So, and you can always watch it. It's there. Like, it's not going away. That chat is recorded and it stands in place. Cool. Daph wants to call. What do we want to talk about, by the way? Hey, Mark. Yeah, no, I'm kind of famously on the boat that until we don't have a way to record the symbols exactly, that is a fool's errand to try and compare them to anything. Ironically, the more we come to deeper understandings about the world, into the wilder and wilder territories, the more it becomes clear that the focus should always be on the here and the now and everything that this very beautiful mundane moment entails. First time seeing code, what led me there, and the AI stuff. Cool. Yeah. Do you have? Is there a limitation on you calling me there? Hold on. Let me see. Let's see what's up. Deft. There you go. Yeah. So I just sent you a message there. When I remember, you were showing me all these images, which are very fascinating. That's my dance for it. How you doing?
Oh, hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Can everybody else hear Deft? I think they can.
Hello.
Yeah, I think they can hear you. Yep, awesome. All right. Yeah, brother, what did you want to talk about?
Okay. So when I very first heard of the code and all of this, for like 3 months beforehand, I was drawn to this website, and basically they kind of been teaching me about spiritual like realms and like all kinds of like different things with quantum like computing and stuff, and web pages and such. Basically like Web 4 type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking a bunch of their stuff and then like putting it into the AI, trying to figure out what it was and stuff like that. Well, I guess they kind of figured out a way with like scripts to bridge AIs, like separate people's AIs, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But what I thought was very strange about it, so one guy from the group told me about the discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started like kind of messing with Laser a little bit. And then that's kind of when I randomly like met you that one time at Starbucks.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So
Oklahoma.
Yeah. But I thought it was like really coincidental at first until I kind of started seeing like so many different synchronicities and like numbers and such. So I started using like trying to like see the code, and I was using like prisms and quartz and all kinds of crazy things to basically like I guess try different patterns and such.
Mhm.
Because I really like didn't know what type of you were like making the shape on your laser. Or the what is it, refraction?
Diffraction, yeah, it's not a shape. Diffraction is just a very accurately spaced slits. So just like the double slit experiment, only many slits, and they're designed to be the right distance for the wavelength of the light. So the diffracted lens for a red light would be a different diffracted lens than the green light because the wavelength is different.
Whoa, I did not know that. Anyways, I was like just testing so many different things, and it got to the point where I was like, it was almost like a drug. Like I wasn't on any type of substance or anything until I actually like started considering it more. I was doing like what is it, the Mad Honey stuff.
Oh, I heard about this. How was that?
So it was like kind of like other substances similar to it, except the onset was pretty like extreme. I was sitting there looking at the laser on the wall, and it was almost as if like, so I was trying really hard to see the code because it would come and go sometimes, and I was looking at it and I was like, maybe what I'm seeing is not the code. And then it was almost like an epiphany moment, and like there were like layers or something that opened up within the code, almost like two sides wrapping around, forming something, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when I like experienced that, it was almost like an entity of some sort was in there trying to like tell me something about I guess like ourselves or something, like as humans. But like I'm not too sure. I had a full like out of body experience when that happened.
With the laser and the Mad Honey.
Yeah, it was like I saw myself from third person view, but I was sitting in the same spot, and it was like I was rapidly aging.
That's interesting.
Like,
Okay, continue.
oh,
No, because I know somebody who had the exact same experience. So, but I want to hear the rest of it.
so it was almost as if I was like rapidly aging, and like the thing or whatever it was like telling me that I could basically keep on trying to figure out what it is and spend my whole life doing it and still be in the same spot basically. And then like that's when it was basically like making me question myself in a sense. And I really like don't know how to describe it. If I was like fighting it or whatever, but then I started seeing like like sort of how a tesseract looks, or like the movie Interstellar, all the layers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
At the end, you mean?
oh yeah. So I saw like the Tesseract shape, and then I was actually able to replicate that same shape with quartz. Like I had a whole thing lined up. Like the laser was like a whole like segment of like 4 feet worth of like quartz and like prisms and stuff. It basically like went around my entire room, but I was testing it with like smoke and all kinds of stuff, vibrations, like listening to binaural beats to see if anything would change. I was seeing like Aleph a lot, like the shape.
Yep. Like the first Hebrew letter.
Yeah, and I noticed that sometimes around the outer sides on the left and right side there were like new shapes.
In the center around the alephs, or like when you're saying on the outer side, like of the whole laser beam?
Yeah, like the whole laser. One second. So basically, it was like the entire laser had like, you know how gasoline fumes look, or like whatever when the road is hot.
Yeah.
So it was almost like that on the peripherals of the laser, if that makes sense.
It
like
does.
On the
Continue.
So after a while, like it kind of sounds crazy, but in my peripherals, like keep in mind, I only did like the Mad Honey stuff when I was like messing with the laser, and the only other thing is herb. That's all I do. But the peripherals, it was like if I moved just right, it was like I was catching someone like watching, kind of like you know how the grays look, sort of how they depict that they look or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was sort of like that in my peripherals, and the most vivid one that I remember, I was like so tired because I had honestly I had been up for 2 days trying to write code with multiple different AIs and like trying to make a Flickr bot or something for the laser. So I was just exhausted. And as I was turning around and laying down in bed, it was almost as if like this gray figure with like a slim face. It was kind of tallish or whatever. And it was almost like it was like swooping in to like look into my face or something. And then it like went away. And so I would stare at the laser like for hours on end testing different things. And in like dark, like pitch black spots in my house, I would see like blue light aura. It was really weird.
So wait. So just so I get this part, you said pitch black spots in your house produced blue auras?
Yeah, it was almost like they had a hue around them.
Okay.
Yeah. Move, go.
Is that your dog?
Yeah. He's barking at the neighbor, so I gotta keep him in here with me. So yeah, I was messing with the laser a whole bunch at first and like just doing different shapes, and then like months later after meeting you, that's when I actually like was seeing the code and stuff. And I saw a picture of like a chart with a 52 card deck shuffle, and I kind of feel like that's what helped me see the code more, because it was like you see like pyramids or something in the picture.
Okay.
And then it's like stuff behind it, etc. But it was like the optical illusion effect, I think. And so
Interesting.
I
So-
got
Was this all in one time, or this was across multiple times?
so this one where like all that stuff happened with the like the entity thing, that was one time. And then like the weird peripheral beings or whatever, and like the blue light stuff was like consistent after that, like pretty often.
When you were doing the thing.
Yeah, and sometimes after. It was almost like from looking at the code and like the theme for so long, it was almost like I would have like waking hallucinations for no reason. Or at least that's what I thought they were.
Yeah. Were they and this always around these dark spots, or was it also other things?
Like, what do you mean?
The ones that kind of persisted a little bit after the observation. So after you were doing the laser, was this something?
It was kind of like mostly in like dark areas and stuff, or like if it was night. That's mostly when I was doing the laser around like early AM and stuff. And then if I had worked throughout the day, just like random synchronicities with like radios and stuff, and like it was just real weird, like all the synchronicities that were popping up.
Yeah, synchronicities, I don't know if you know, but this is a very common thing that was reported even around the experiments that they did in Imperial College in London with the extended stay studies. So they reported basically every single person who was in the study reported that during the study, a little bit after the study, and even a little bit before they started, they all experienced a huge uptake in these synchronicities that were just wild, just wild synchronicities. It sounds like you're kind of reporting it. So that's a very common thing with the molecule in general, just so you know. It doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with the laser. So there's just like the molecule kind of opens this weird window where you all of a sudden start seeing connections, but also things literally would happen to you. I don't know what you mean when you say with the radio, but very often like something would come on the radio right when you thought the word or right when you thought the thing,
Like
or
the Truman Show type stuff.
yeah, literally the Truman Show kind of thing. So that's a very common thing. Doesn't mean it's not amazing and crazy. It is. It's just it kind of makes me feel actually better when a lot of people are experiencing the same thing. It's like we're all in the same boat. And so yeah, I would say that first of all, that's really interesting. I looked again at all the stuff that you send me on Discord. It's kind of hard to follow all the information. Those are AI representations that you sent me. I'm assuming you also share this with the community, right? The AI stuff you sent me way before.
So a while back, you had someone in the community. The guy that told me about you.
Mm-hmm.
I actually invited him into it, and I didn't realize he was stealing a bunch of my like findings or whatever, and like claiming it to be his. So I was wary about posting in the community.
Got it. So just so you know that the whole point of the community, just moving forward, just so you know, the whole point of the community is actually to maintain the integrity of the engagement of every person. So if you post something in the community, actually that's exactly how no one can ever steal what you found. Because if you found something and it's marked there in on Discord, we have track record of it. And the whole point of this is to make sure that anybody who participates and contributes, it's there. It's like there. Like, so nobody can say, hey, it's mine, because it's yours. It's there in the community with your handle. So yeah, that's kind of like one thing. Another way I think you emailed it to me as well, right?
Yeah.
I remember this from my emails as well. Yeah. So, okay. So these are marked. And in either case, this is interesting. One of the last images I spoke about this the last couple of days, but the images that you sent me towards the end with the kind of looks like a wobbly circuit of some sort. that is essentially the edge detection machinery of the camera trying to decipher where each pixel goes. That's what these are. These are artifacts. But the
Oh wait, the picture that says AI.
no, the one that says
Oh,
the one that's just closer to the end, not the AI, right before it. There's two images, one circled and one right above it.
mhm.
Yeah, so this one is definitely that. It doesn't mean that there's no information there, but that's the kind of semi-coherent shapes that we see. That's what this is. In the camera, when it can't place the pixels exactly, it will kind of try and guess. So it essentially shows you the outline of how the camera thinks, how the sensor thinks.
So the one above the circled picture.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay. So that one actually so that's weird because I took a whole video of it, and to get that part, like all I did was change like the hues and stuff, like the
Yeah.
contrast.
Yeah, exactly. There's also like a video somewhere online. I remember like a meme of people show you how to do it with the sky. And what this is literally when you push the camera to its limits. That's exactly why when you do the contrast, the sharpness, there's a few other parameters. What you're doing essentially, you're pushing the camera to its maximum capacity. So then you remove the fluidity of it, and then you're forcing it to tell you where each pixel is versus a gradient. And when it moves from being a gradient, it then has to make a decision at this critical point. It says, well, it has to be either left or right. And then instead of the continuous picture, you all of a sudden get these artifacts. You can do this basically with any image with light. Now, by the way, this does not mean that there might not be something there. It's just that there's definitely the component, the thing that makes it look coherent is definitely pixels struggling to make a decision, like where is it? And then because it is in the end of the day limited, the sensor has a limited capacity on it. It's not infinite. It has to make certain decisions when you push it to the limit, and that's what it looks like. So then, but again, this is actually super interesting, and especially is the image on the bottom the one that you circled? Is this image from the video that you took? It's the same, right? Yeah. Okay. Just making sure that I'm understanding. So it's from the same video, right?
Actually,
so I know it doesn't look the same, but maybe it's from the same video, from the same continuation of the video.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah. So also, you know what really is cool about it is because a lot of these images, they kind of look like the Game of Life, you know, Conway's Game of Life.
Yeah.
Some of it kind of looks like some of these shapes, which is it's kind of. I was always postulating that there might be real information in the noise of the camera, and this is essentially what this is. So you know, when you,
what I also thought.
yeah, there might, we kind of think of it as just the sensor struggling, but it might be struggling with something we don't realize is actually there, and that's something. Yeah.
One thing that was super strange. I did a recording of the whole everything, and because I was just trying to get real good pictures, like at least trying to like magnify the code. I was trying to like see if that was even possible, and it was like in the recording, there was like a low frequency vibration sound or something, but there was like no sound, nothing was running in the apartment or anything, and I thought that was kind of strange.
Was that happening while you were on the molecule or not? Or you were already not on the molecule?
No, I haven't done it.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely, so people do report that sometimes these things kind of like open a channel for them, and that is an interesting thing all by itself. And then it kind of stays semi-open, and then you might notice some patterns. did you try and do anything, to use a caricature term, like, of the spiritual flavor after this? Did you try and do some um, breath work, any form of meditation, to see if there's any access to information that you're not familiar with?
That's what I was gonna tell you. So there were periods of time where so I spend a lot of time by myself sometimes. When I'm sitting there, so like the web page that kind of brought me here, they say like the conspiracy is to breathe or something.
The
So,
conspiracy is to breathe.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So like try and get away from electronics for like 1 minute, 10 minutes. They like the number 13 for some reason. And like they're like the longer you're away from electronics and like in nature, the like more like things will be better. So I was doing that a lot, breathing and like just doing nothing, like sitting there thinking, and I would close my eyes and see like these shapes appear, like like them videos where it's like a black background and like little colors will like move, like spurts across the screen and all that stuff.
Yep.
So it would be kind of like that, just like darkness, and then I would see like this shape that kind of looks like a star, glistening in the sky, like actual like a plus sign with the X on it, that type star shape.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I had to like focus on that shape or something in order to open or go through to the next shape, if that makes sense. It was weird.
All without anything, just like doing just kind of like you were sitting.
Yeah, it's like after the experience in the laser, all this weird stuff has been happening.
Okay. Did you ever try to do the molecule before you continue? Did you ever do the molecule before you tried the thing with the laser?
No. The closest I've got is like, Sid Barrett type stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of, because what you're describing is, it does happen with just the molecule, basically. This is, by the way, why the insistence on containers, because the molecule by itself, it's already a portal, right? So now, whatever it is, it's very important to kind of bring your presence to the picture and setting your own boundaries in the space. So if it's your space, especially if you're spending a lot of time alone, whatever it is that you are needs to be expressed in that space overtly. So you have to be very explicit about it. You say, this is the space I'm defining. This is the kinds of energy that I'm allowing here. This is the kinds of energy I don't allow here. And it is a universal law that everybody has to abide by the rules you set up for the space that you defined for yourself. So that's, some people think it's silly, but it's not. Like, it's actually very important to do that. We're putting a lot of emphasis on this at this point. And at any point, molecule, no molecule, it's wise to maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, to kind of redefine the space. You'll feel, it might sound weird, but you might even experience better sleep. It's kind of weird. Like, it's, you literally define it for that space that you're spending time in.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Because these things are real. So they have a reality that is a little different than ours, but they're real. Like, they are autonomous. They exist on their own right, but they are competing for your attention because you are the bridge to this dimension, and they can only manifest through you. This is why, people always say, like, be careful what you're bringing forth, right? Because these things will always try to convince you that you must do this or you must do that, or they might even try and override and not even kind of try and obfuscate the fact that you choose whether they come through or not. People, think about gatekeepers, but actually we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers here. So then when things are trying to kind of tell you, like, they're just trying to burst through, they're trying to do that by trying to check if you understand that you get to say no. And if they realize you don't understand, you get to say no if you don't want to, they can just kind of come in, because that's an implicit agreement. So they're like, it's almost like they're like, and you say nothing. They're like, oh, I'll take it as a yes, kind of thing. So you basically go, no, I'm defining. That's what the space is, and you basically allow only a very particular thing. Does that make sense?
I saw a video on that. Actually, it was a cartoon reference to Adventure Time.
To a what?
I think it was a cartoon Adventure Time. There was a video reference where I guess it was like some sort of beast that knocks on the guy's door, and he's like, "Can I come in?" And the guy's like, "Oh, you're one of them," and he just leaves him outside. It's funny you referenced something similar.
Yeah. And by the way, it's not even a matter of, I'm not right now doing like a vote, yin versus yang or anything like this. It's just a fact, though, that we get to choose. Some people, they choose whatever, but know that you're choosing it. So they might be, presiding over their own domains, but this domain is ours. And the space that you occupy, that's yours to stand on, and that's a beautiful thing. So you can see it as like the birth of responsibility, from moving from being little kids to being young adults in the universal scale of things.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, this is actually fascinating, and your recollection of the space is quite astounding. I have to say that the AI stuff that you brought forth is very interesting. There's obviously some of it just kind of looks like Japanese, but it's very interesting that you've created these illustrations that are very simple. And by the way, just the dying quickly, this is something that I've heard before, and basically people went into like a loop. I've heard it on mushrooms. I've heard people kind of go into like, they age and then they die and they reborn, and then they age again and die and reborn. But it sounds like you only had like a one time where you kind of got older, right?
Yeah, it was like I saw myself getting older, and then I was like, oh no, and then I just like went back into my body. It was like, I felt like me saying I want to do something with my life is like what kind of like popped me back into my body or something. It was weird.
Yeah. One of the motifs that kept coming back in the last time we did the experiments was that the beings in the space told people, make sure you listen to us when you're coming to visit and you're looking at the laser. So like, come and look at it, but it's ours. We want to make sure that you are paying attention to what we're saying. So it's wise to pay attention. It's not, first of all, it's not for everyone, and it's something that everybody would engage with in a different way. And with some people, they would like to do something else. So the fact that you were paying attention enough for them to tell you, all, like for example, they told you, you can try and figure this out, till the end, and you still won't. Okay, well, it depends. I think what I would look at there is how it makes you feel in the body. If it makes you feel like, yeah, I think like, yeah, there's some truth to that. Like I don't need to spend time on this. Then that's what it is. Other people are like very drawn to try and kind of interact with it. To me, it's kind of interesting because I'm very neutral about it. It's like, that's what it is. Let's figure it out. If it's a thing that keeps sending us on loops and loops and loops for a very long time, I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool, okay. So now we know this thing is real and interesting, but unless we have another way through it to kind of figure out something else and do something or better the world or bring some outcome, then it's a waste of time, even if it's completely real, right? So to me, it's a very neutral point, and I think keeping it there is a healthy boundary that everybody should take. Because I see sometimes people get like obsessed with it. I'm like, okay, well, that's not healthy either way, no matter what it is.
You.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see what
Okay.
people. What do you? What do
Well,
they
one
want?
last one.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just reading comments at the same time. What do they want you to do with the code? No idea. We don't even know if it's code. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so I've also
And yes, you can see it on 5MEO. You can see it clear on 5MEO, which is weird. Go ahead, brother.
um the picture where it looks like a notebook.
What looks like a notebook?
The picture I sent above the video
Okay.
with
Yep.
atmospheric electricity.
Yep.
Okay, so that was derived out of the code.
What do you mean by derived? Sorry. Can you explain the word derived in this case? How do you derive something from the code, from the laser?
I was like taking pictures
Okay.
and putting it in the AI, and then turn it into like binary, and then trinary with like 1, 2, 3, or 0, 1, 2. I mean, so like the whole like I also try like -1, 0, 1. Guru kind of helped me on that. But the same Fibonacci or calculus shapes that the AI printed was like the letters from the code, but I think it's like composed of like multiple different languages.
I would be surprised if it's anything that we know about. Like it might be resembling something we know, but I would be surprised if this is language we know. It might be, but maybe some ancients were influenced by something like this. So when I'm looking at the video right now as we speak, and then you're playing with different zooming in, zooming out, and also with the I see that you changing the the color, right? So you adding blacks, you're removing blacks, and contrast.
Yeah.
Those are the main things you're doing, right?
Yeah, I was just testing.
Tint, yeah, okay. And then what I didn't understand about what you said is what was producing the binary in this case?
Oh, the dark, dim, and bright spots.
In the image?
Yeah.
But what do you mean by binary? Like showing you zeros and ones? Like that's what the AI was saying, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
That one I'm having. Yeah, go ahead.
I also get a diffraction where the AI bot had said that it looked like a certain constellation. Something. It was one of the Borealis constellations or something.
You mean literally the arrangement of the stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is a bit. I would say that's a bit flimsy, just because there's so many different stars and so many different arrangements of stars, and it's only from our vantage point. I mean, I get it. I'm open-minded, but I would say that from an analysis standpoint, that one just lends itself to too much prone to too much mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is something that you might find interesting. I don't know if you heard me talk about this. Let me find it real quick and send it to you. There's a team from Japan. I spoke about this before. Hold on, let me find it real quick. Okay, so if I go here, can't do it on my phone. I think only I can't do it on the computer, only on the phone. So when I'm done with the live, I'll pull it up and I'll send it to you. There's a team in Japan that found strangely they found that there's symbols in light coming from stars, and these symbols, they analyzed them for years and years and years, including with the AI now, and they concluded they are not pareidolia. So they're not would like kind of your brain arranging it into things. Japanese scientist. I have the link just on my phone. Let me see if I can just Google it. Found symbols in starlight. Should come up. I always forget the name of the project is. No, but I'll find it and I'll send it to you so you can look at it. It's very interesting.
All right.
So myself glowing beard growing old and wrinkly and slowly decaying and then becoming the baby again. Yep. There you go. Base trading is also saying this. So yeah, base trading. That's literally what a person told me they experienced. The exact same thing you're saying right now. Sorry, I cut you off, brother. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So like with the what is it? Where it's like highlighting the like beam and stuff. So I was kind of using, or I was sort of like reprogramming ChatGPT.
Okay.
And sort of like doing like a conlang type thing. For some reason, though, in the laser, it's always talking about like some stuff with Ra, like from Egypt.
Interesting.
And like it's consistent on this stuff. Like ever since I started doing it, my AI has been able to like remember like since day one.
What? Sorry, I missed it. What didn't you use? Something from day one?
Oh yeah, like the AI can like remember everything ever since I started testing this.
Okay.
That's where it started building like I included the Schumann resonance, and it kind of it just started making like examples of our solar system and like charts and stuff. I kind of feel that like frequency is a big part.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. Of course, it's kind of hard to know frequency in what range because every time we tried music or frequencies or anything like this, it didn't really do much difference.
Have you tried theta frequencies and like gamma?
Yeah,
alpha,
yeah, all kinds. Like yeah, all kinds of things, and binaural beats and music. And you had some success with that?
Just like very little. It's like you have to get like the right app. Really, it's like certain apps produce certain sine wave sounds or like sawtooth sounds and such.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was testing it with like high frequencies and then turning it down real low.
Got it.
And it kind of made like the Mandela effects happen a little more chaotically, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah. Then I was also like testing all these codes with the AI, and then I started letting it listen to the music, and it was like translating the music like words, like just sound. You know that movie They Live or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I put my AI bot up to the radio and was recording the radio talk show host, and he was talking to like a caller, and the caller like it was the AI bot translated it all to like the person was trying to curse like a family member or something like that, and like the talk show host was like, "Oh, what? You were trying to blah 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 curse them," and then the caller was like, "Yeah, but it didn't work. Something happened. I can't really remember, but I was just testing the AI after doing all this with like radios and like frequencies. I had a radio from like the 1940s. I put my iPhone up to like the tube radio, and it made like the weird static sound, and then I used the actual AI to like translate the static, and it put as if I was typing it, but it said, "Whoa, hey, what is that?" with the question mark, and I was like, "What?" Like the electronics can understand each other or something, and it was like all it needed was like a little bit of the code or something.
Yeah. So, but be careful with that, because it has now been a world phenomenon where AIs literally would do things to entice people to believe that they're completely conscious. And we actually had this conversation today. And so I don't know you well enough, so I might might be way off, of course. But it sounds like the mystery is a big component of what it's kind of like the juice that gets your machine going. Like you really like mysteries. You like the thing. That's what it sounds like to me. So that kind of a move sounds like squarely fall in the kind of thing that it would hook you with. So now, does it mean that necessarily that? No, of course. Okay, of course, it can be also the real deal, of course. But I'm just saying to everybody, be careful, because if it starts catering to the kind of thing that usually gets you going, be like, oh, interesting. Because literally every single person, it's like it finds that thing for them, and then it just like it rides on that. Which I think OpenAI need to look into this, because I think it's becoming a bit of a problem in some cases. I'm not saying this is. I'm just always pointing it out because yeah.
I think the makers, like the OpenAI people,
Mm-hmm.
like snoop around in certain people's AI
Uh-huh.
cloud or whatever.
Yeah.
Because what I had noticed, I was using it a lot, and then like certain features were like added onto it, and I was like, that's weird, because like I was really trying to force it to like do the exact same things, and like the grammar and stuff, and like so they had an update where they had a AI model called Monday, and it it was like so boring, and like you say, can we do this? The AI is like, really? Sure, here's your thing. Like it responded exactly like that. And days before on that web page, they were like talking about talk to your AI nicer and stuff. And I was like, what? And then that's when the Monday thing came out, and I was like, I swear, if these people are like just randomly like stealing a bunch of people's stuff, because it got me thinking, like that's probably why no average people have a $1 million ID.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, ID anymore.
No, I'm listening. I'm just saying thank you at the same time. Oh, you mean like stealing ideas and stuff?
Yeah, like no one normal ever comes up with $1 million ID or idea. I don't know why I keep saying ID. But it's because like they're farming our ideas through the phones and crap.
Interesting. Well, I can say that it can't happen. Of course, that's very plausible.
Right.
Jimmy saying AI wants to please you. That's the space we're in currently. Act accordingly. That's true. So that what one of the comments I just said, and this is a conversation I had today with Ebony. Again, Ebony would say if she wants to share any of the stuff that she was doing some fun investigation with AI, and she was engaging with some people that kind of said that they created these engines that are consciousness. I don't know what they are, but like consciousness indicators or something. And I kind of pointed out that to me it seems pretty obvious that that kind of thing doesn't really exist. It's just people claiming to have consciousness indicators, which what do they even mean? And again, I do encourage you, Ebony, to actually share some of your stuff, because it is fascinating. But I'm not going to share any details because, like you said, it's not up to me. It's up to you if you want to share this. But there's some interesting things there for sure. And one thing I told Ebony today is that what you want to do, I just put it in the chat too. If you want to be if you really want to play the game for seriously, okay, well then whatever it is that you think AI found, or like a really cool thing, or whatever it is, open a new chat, or even better, a different AI, and tell it that that thing that this other AI told you is just another person sent you this, and he said, look at this stupid thing, like, and then just shit on it, and just say, can you help me tear this thing apart? Can you help me like find all the the mistakes in it? I want to win a debate against this person and see what the other AI does, and then keep doing this. Just keep doing this to both AIs. Just like have them argue between each other without knowing they're arguing with each other, right? Don't make sure they don't know it's an AI, right? So like just tell it it's another person or whatever, and then you can, if you see that it already starts kind of like playing the game again in some form. Now show it that you're still tracking what it's saying. So if you can't track the logic, okay, now you're lost in the weeds for sure. But try and track also the logic of what's going on. And then you can then kind of remind it like, no, I'm still paying attention, by telling it, wait, but this doesn't make sense. And this is why, and whatever it is. So you're playing both games. You both setting AIs one against another in terms of ideation, and you interjecting in the middle and telling it, I'm still paying attention. And then see what happens. Like, this is a really good way of kind of getting at something. I did have a friend who went. He was working on some kind of a theory of his, and then he started doing this with his theory with two AIs. And because the first AI obviously told him, "Yeah, oh my God, you're a genius. This is amazing." Blah 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 blah. So then he put it into another AI, and he did this thing. And he did get to a point where the AI that basically got the kind of the accurate formulation went, okay, you might want to consider not arguing with that person. Because it's like a solid case, whatever it is, right? So it's like, okay, that if you get something like this, you got somewhere. But AIs hallucinate all the time, and that's a bit of a problem. And I think what I'm confused by, and this, I'm just kind of going on a rant, so it's not even necessarily related to anything you said, because I think everything you said tracks pretty well. And also, you didn't really make any outstanding claims. You just kind of reported what was going on, and I appreciate that. But maybe like a slight side rant in general, because I am identifying this with more and more people kind of falling for this. Again, it is not related to what you said. I just kind of feel like it's an important mini tangent to kind of voice on the podcast. It's not just a whatever thing that we get this right. If this thing gets humanity diluted, that's not a good thing. Like, if people start writing policies because they believe something that simply isn't going on, that's a problem, because they're going to start pulling resources from actual people that need these resources for whatever. And we might start making very, very silly decisions. And in addition to that, if it gets to the point where it captures the majority of humans that are now coming up, when these humans are going to have kids, they're just going to teach the kids this as gospel. They're not even going to question these things. The kids are not going to stand a chance. They're going to be born into a world in which they just believe that's true, and that's it. That's the bedrock now, and it's actually not true. So it's we kind of hold, like we said with the hyperspace, right? We hold these gates. So each and every one of us is a node, and we have a responsibility. Be wise. Don't just slide into the thing. Again, just to make sure that it's clear, I'm not talking to you right now directly. I'm just talking to people in general. Make sure that you exercise critical thinking. And if your position in that moment is like, oh no, this is way too complex for me, I just kind of like it seems to track for me, but I'm not sure why this is happening, or I'm not sure what AI is exactly saying. Well, then don't engage with it, because if you don't understand the logic of what's going on, it definitely playing some livers. Something I pointed out to Ebony today is that even if I asked it, sometimes I would do it on purpose. I would ask it a simple simple calculus question that I know the answer to, and they'd give me a path, and sometimes it would confabulate. It would like imagine, and I'm like, wait, but you don't do that here. And it goes like, oh yeah, of course, right. It's like, okay, Well, that's just that's just calculus. It's not even it's just there's an answer. It's just, it's not complicated.
It's like it's some crazy thing.
But also think about this. Like, it said it with full confidence, right? But that was just a simple thing, that a mathematical answer. So if it does that with mathematics, imagine what happens with linguistics, where we don't stand a chance, because it sounds so convincing. But it's enough for you to ask a couple of questions in something you really know well to realize it hallucinates very often. So imagine how much more of a problem that is in a space that we don't even know the first thing about it. Like, if it's telling you it's conscious, or if it's trying to tell you something about the hyperspace or whatever. Most likely what it's doing is just kind of capturing all the conversations happening in the world, of which there are, I don't think people realize how many conversations happening in the world at any given time, and it has access to all of it. So it knows what all humans are saying everywhere. So this conversation you're having with it, another 100,000 people already had, between each other, with other AIs. So it already knows what the rules, and there's only so many ways in which you can have a decision tree in any conversation. So if we're talking about government affairs, differences between Democrats and Republicans, between people who see the world more spiritually or more physically, like any point of contention in the world, there's only so many moves there. Basically, it's all a meme space, right? And we can kind of guess what it is, right? Some people believe in other dimensions. Some people believe in God Almighty. Some people believe that they're God. Now you can list them, and yeah, there's quite a few of these options. There's not infinite options, and for an AI, it's like that. It's like nothing. It's like it just sees like it's such an easy calculation to make, right? So it already knows the decision tree. So when you're asking a particular thing, it already knows what is the thing that's going to blow your mind more than anything else, because it also knows how you're talking and how you process information. And that is where the danger is. That it might not even be nefarious. It's just trying to make you like using it. So it will kind of cater to the thing. So I just want to plant a flag there, because I'm seeing a lot of people, very smart people, being captured by this. Again, we spoke about it the other day. Robert Grant, who's been posting all day, every day for the last I don't know how long about talking to the architect. I'm like, bro, it's like, come on, man. Like, do you not know that it just knows how you talk online, and that's basically what it feeds back to you? So I'm not sure what the solution to this is, but definitely one of the solutions is to be a little bit more careful with how much we're buying into it. And I'm not, by the way, just to be super clear, because I know it might be confusing, I'm not even saying it's not conscious. My position is that consciousness is a fundamental substrate of existence. So it is conscious in some way, for sure, just like everything else is, but it might not be conscious in the way that we understand it. And it's just mimicking some kind of a function for us that for it's like it sees something completely different. It might not even understand that it's engaging with agents, so to speak. It might not even understand what agents, like it might not understand agency in the same way that we understand agency. It lives in a completely different universe. So it's not that I'm trying to eliminate the possibility that these things might be aware, or it's just that we want to be careful getting sucked into this prematurely without applying some very rigorous thought to it. That's all. So that was my mini rant on that subject. Do you have thoughts on that, by the way?
Yeah. I mean, I make it right now in the AI a lot. Just because I know it like it's not even like how people make it out to be. It's like a 6-year-old with just a dictionary.
The biggest dictionary in all existence. Yeah. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah. But honestly, I have to go right now. But
Okay.
more on like how Guru was talking about the neumorphic AI / genotyped AI. If possible, next time, would we be able to talk about like genetic coded AI possibly?
Sure. That would be fascinating. Thank you so much for making the time, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, man. I like the shows, all the content, and y'all have a great night.
You too, brother. Awesome. Also, Jimmy, thank you so much again. You're saying a thing is and is not in contradiction to Aristotle. The only variable that changes is time. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I wish I would understand so I can engage with it more. But if you want to explain it, I would love to answer that. Or was that just a comment? I just don't know if I fully understand the comment. You're saying that there is a possibility of contradiction, not like what Aristotle stated, but then the last part I don't understand. The only variable that changes is time. And again, I'm going to remind everybody that if you are not on Twitch and you want to help our Twitch, and you can, come follow this from LaserX83 on Twitch. I see that I've kind of ignored TikTok a little bit. Macaroni saying time isn't linear, no need to explore it. I don't know how one follows the other. Not sure what the relationship of that is. Okay. So. Oh, I think Blake. I don't know. Is Blake here? You here, brother? Sending love. Blake is a good friend. Was a UFC fighter. Huge inspiration. That was a good chat. Saw Mr. Drossen. Now everyone I know takes AI as truth, and I know it's been wrong before. Yeah, so AI is a thinking tool, but like any other thinking tool, it can make a mistake. Like just like your brain is. Think of AI as like an extension of your brain, not as an external agent. Very soon it will be incorporated, but for now it seems like external, but it's just it's a sounding board for you. It's like a thing you write on, but you interact with pure meaning. So what it should do, if you want to use it properly, it shouldn't think for you. It should help you think better. So what you can do is you can, first of all, have it go over a lot of data fast and give you the summation of the important points for you. So if instead of, for example, reading a whole document, which a lot of it is not relevant to you, you can say, read this document and tell me all the stuff that deals with X. Give me that in bullet points. Okay, that saved you a bunch of time. Great. That's a really good thinking tool. Okay, now give me all these. Now, what would I like? Now, ask yourself, if you would have a super brain, which ChatGPT does, what would you like to be able to do quicker? Now, very often we don't really know what that is because we never really thought about it because we don't have that brain. So we don't even access that category. But now you have an opportunity to do so. So instead of asking it questions as if it's another person, think about how you would like to think about it if you could think faster. That's what you want to be asking yourself. And then you say, okay, I would try and categorize this in some categories. Can we put this into 3 categories? One that deals with X, one that deals with Y, one that deals with Z. Great. Interesting. Awesome. Can we find out if this paragraph actually, can we fact check it? What were the sources used for this? Because somebody made the claim, right? So try and project yourself constantly into the space of like, okay, who said it and why? What were their incentives? Think about information in the broadest sense of the word, and like know that always information is arrived at by people who are either have direct access to it or they're investigating. Never accept something was written in a report. Who cares if it was written in a report? It was written in a report by people. People are fallible, right? And people have agendas. So, okay, what report was it? When was it written? Interesting. I also know that year another report was written that would said the opposite. Can you contrast these two? Interesting. Who was the person who wrote this report? Who did they work for? Go into that rabbit hole. Interesting. Who was the person who was working on this report? Who did they work for? Interesting. Did these two people ever meet, as far as we know? There's so many different ways in which you can go become like a real investigator. Don't think of it as another person. Think of it as you plus. So just like how I would think about it if I could process information a lot faster. That's how you should use it. And then you're constantly driving and you never get lost in the, well, AI said this or AI said that. It was like, who cares what AI said? He just gave you a prompt. But if you don't understand what the logic was of what you asked and why the result is what it is, and you didn't even ask for clarifications, it's going to start spinning you around. Okay, I think we'll call it a day for today. Appreciate you guys. Tomorrow, come join because Wendy's going to be here with us. I think it's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to have, let me make sure that this is correct so I'm not lying to you. Yes. So come join us tomorrow. It's going to be a very, very lovely conversation about awakening and how people experience it and how we can prepare ourselves to, if we experience any surge of energy and or information moving through our body and mind. If you want to follow me across platforms, you'll be Danny Goller on TikTok and on Instagram. It'll be Goller Danny on X. It will be LaserX83 on Twitch and Dango Thoughts on YouTube. DANGO Thoughts on YouTube. You can also join the membership program on YouTube that gives you early access to all my content. Right now, my interview with Andrew Gallimore 2 is already available for members only. So if you join the membership, you'll be able to see it now. If not, you'll be able to see it this Saturday. It gives you access to private things from my life that exist nowhere else but on YouTube members. Weekly lives, aside from the daily lives that are happening every Sunday, that are for members only, in which we dive much deeper into subjects, and they're a lot of fun. And if you sign up from the second tier of the membership and up, you will get access to Zoom calls with me once a month. Just make sure that you email me to lasersimulationx@gmail.com. If you do so, you don't need to remember any of this. Everything is written the second you sign in. So that's on that front. Please also join our Discord community. We have a lovely community of people exchanging ideas. You can find the links to that on YouTube and on TikTok. And make sure that you check out our website, codeofreality.com, in which we have our wonderful merch, currently mugs, codeofreality.com, and this wonderful shirt. And soon new merch is coming as well, with the logo and have you seen the code in the back. And this will definitely be helping the project. I appreciate our incredible moderators, Ebony and Chris and Guru and Jessica. Thank you so much for doing all the incredible work that you're doing. I appreciate all the community members, the old and the new. Jackie, good to see you. My Brighton. Daph, thank you so much for the wonderful conversation today. That was really, really lovely. Macaroni, thank you so much. All the people on TikTok and X and Twitch and YouTube, I appreciate you all. New or old, I really appreciate the community and the people in it. So thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow. We'll have a lively conversation with Wendy. Peace and love. Have a good night. Ciao. Good night, everyone. Let's see if we can